Now, after a time where so much of the rap world has just made a mockery of what the genre stands for, one of the most acclaimed, gifted, and respected rappers of the modern era has finally spoken up and called out all of the musical grifters running around and trying to sell themselves off as rappers, as in a recent interview. None other than Tyler the Creator bashed the current state of hip hop for so many reasons that the world needed to hear from an artist of his magnitude, and now while some people have accused Tyler of doing this for attention or as a result of him becoming bitter and out of touch with the ever-changing trends in hip hop. When you look at everything Tyler says and just how nuanced and detailed he gets when it comes to this warning shot he has given to the entire rap world, you can see that what he is saying is so much more than just some shade being thrown out, because with everything he has had to say, he isn't dissing other rappers to start beef or drama, but he is fighting to preserve the very identity of what hip hop and really music culture stands
That's going to be interesting to hear what he says. So, what's good, everybody? It's Mr. Composition, the MC that writes fiction, back at it with another video. This is how Tyler the Creator just destroyed every new rapper. So, as a rapper, I am curious to hear what it is that he has to say. If you're new to the channel, make sure you like, subscribe, notification bells on so you don't miss when I drop a new video on the road to 5K. This is another fantastic hip hop, so make sure to check out their channel. This video will be in the description as well.
for in a way. And now, as we dive deeper into everything Tyler has said in one of the most crazy and viral interviews that has come from any rapper in quite some time, by the end of it all, you will be even more shocked about everything than you would
That's
think on the
I have
surface,
not
because the
seen
way
that
Tyler
video.
pulls the curtain and exposes everything, it will
That's
really have you
dope.
questioning the entire landscape of the music industry and the people who are being positioned to spearhead the
Hey,
future of
what
hip hop.
video
So
is
now, with
this?
this Tyler the Creator interview, as he spoke with Maverick Carter, Tyler went on a rant where he came out so much of what has been dominating the hip hop landscape over the past few years, and now specifically addressing everything in the rap world that before the Kendrick Lamar and Drake beef really had people questioning the long term stability of rap music as a whole. Tyler had three main points about everything horrible going on in the rap world right now that, when he connected, put together a shocking picture that in most eras would be any rapper's worst nightmare, and now to begin to address this problem that so many current rappers are seemingly a part of. The first thing Tyler talked about is the pure intent behind so many of the people making music today, which, as he described, is no longer about putting compelling art into the world and instead is more about posing as a musician to be treated as such by the industry, but then just releasing what Tyler calls meme records. And as Tyler puts these artists on blast for
Okay, so there are so many guys out right now who aren't musicians that are getting treated like musicians because they make meme records. They publicly would be like, I don't give a fuck about music. I just do for money. And what's interesting is, I mean, this is no different than pretty much any time period. I think that because we have the internet, everything seems amplified. But I can remember this in the 90s. I can remember this in the 2000s. I can remember this in the 2010s. Like hip hop's been around, we celebrate, the big 5-0. Even prior to me being here, 80s, 70s, there's always been an aspect or a group of people, and not even just in hip hop, just in all genres, where they're just looking at it like, okay, cool, yeah, I could do this, da, 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 and those seem to be the people that get on. I think what has allowed me through the years to continue going about it, and I have nowhere near the same accolades or different things as far as side of the creator, but I do have like 12 plus projects out, so at me being 33 and being like, okay, and me still wanting to release music, me still wanting to pursue that as, a form of being able to take care of my necessities and different things like that. Um, there we're gonna always see those type of people, the musicians, who are actually there to make music. And a lot of people say, well, if you're a musician, you shouldn't have to, think about the money, da da da. You're in the business. So that's one of the things that I've been having to realize more and more throughout the years, is just like, despite you making the music and being creative is one thing, you marketing, putting it out, all those different things, that's when it starts getting into the business, you know? So, I do understand what he's saying because it's just all like, yes, in the last couple of years, it's been getting more crazy and it almost feels disrespectful, as a musician myself, as a rapper and different things like that, just a creative in general. I get his as a viewpoint of it, but I also get the viewpoint as far as a fan of music and researcher different things like that and recognizing patterns. I definitely understand that this has been going on for a minute, and I personally think it's just been amplified because of the internet. All these people have been here, but the internet definitely has amplified it.
Pretty much exposing themselves for showing their true nature, which is, of course, that they are making music to exploit algorithms and the digital media landscape, as opposed to creating something genuinely powerful that can resonate with human beings and not machines. This is the first curtain Tyler is trying to pull in the industry by just waking people up to the fact that so many of the new rappers who have been getting pushed by the industry do not have the same intentions that all great artists historically had. And as there have been so many rappers who release music that literally just feels like a joke with how mind-numbing it is and how some people are still accepting this.
It's
This was
true.
very important for Tyler to say, and just to wake people up to what is really going on right in front of them, and now building on this. Because of the nature of artists making music that aims to be a viral joke over everything else, so
Sure,
much
sure,
of what
sure.
has been released within the hip-hop space has become redundant, and more than ever, from rappers to producers, feels like everyone is trying to clone each other and take somebody else's signature sound and wave. And while Tyler may have specifically targeted Ian for pretty much just being the definition of this cookie cutter mold of artist that is trying to take over right now, his point about all of this goes much further than just talking about how rappers stealing other rappers' sounds has never been worse, because as a result of artists pretty much not trying to be original, and then the fact of them copying things for dollars as opposed to creating art in directions that they are actually inspired by. This isn't just limiting creativity, but this low effort way of making music has translated into every single aspect of these new rappers' brands. As when it comes to translating this viral hype from algorithms into live performances that are supposed to captivate audiences, Tyler calls out the hip-hop landscape of today for delivering some of the most lousy and lazy performances of any cloth of musicians ever. And now somebody
Yeah.
calling out the entirety of hip-hop for doing this on this level is really long overdue, because aside from the superstars who truly know how to command a stage like Travis Scott, Playboi Carti, and of course Tyler himself, the majority of current rappers' live shows are genuinely horrible, as from rapping over pre-recorded vocals, which is another
Uh,
aspect of performing that
that
Tyler
is
has
a
been.
no-no. Hey, even I had to go through that. I was so glad I had a DJ early in my rap career that pulled me to the side and was just like, "You're dope, but stop rapping over your vocals." And when they say stop rapping over your vocals, they mean basically you got the track, even if it's mixed and mastered, sometimes they ain't even mixed and mastered, and you're rapping over everything. What I learned to end up doing is I keep the acapellas on there sometimes, and then I'll keep the chorus on there. The chorus is basically there so you can catch your breath, so that way it can, because maybe the chorus might be in a different octave, maybe it might be singing versus rapping or like a melodic type of thing. So that helps out. But rapping the verse, no, it's a no-no. It's a no-no. That's a hip hop no. Before we get into that, this video is sponsored by me. Hey, if you want to dive into new music, I have a catalog. Catalog. Yeah. These are not singles, these are albums. But more recently this year, I did release an album called Tame Chaos. So you can listen, stream, download, purchase all of that in the link in the description. And just check it out because I want to see if people are actually seeing this and going to the site. So anyways, guys,
Critical about in the past, because it really just is a lazy crutch for most people who use it, to the fact that so many rappers performing don't bring any energy or interesting dynamic at their shows whatsoever. These live performances have become a direct extension of how devoid of life and identity that the music of so many of these new rappers have been putting out is, which now, even building more on Tyler's point about all of this, is a direct reason why hip-hop ticket sales are down across
yeah.
the board right now, and why more rappers' tours are flopping. And now, bringing all of this together, Tyler's whole point about this was not to just criticize a lot of the new rappers out right now for being lousy musicians and really being nothing more than a disposable brand ambassador who is mimicking hip hop, but instead, it was to illustrate the greater point that with all of these musicians who do not care at all about their art, which is clear through not just the way they create their music, but through the way they conduct themselves and always spend all of their time in the limelight talking about any other ridiculous thing, but the actual product they are promoting, which is of course the music. These rappers and the inherent values they are projecting have destroyed the worth of the actual music they are supposed to be known for putting out. And this has caused a downfall in the
Yeah.
entire music industry, as from fans who can't even articulate why they dislike an album because the thing is made so haphazardly and treated so disposably, to the rappers who spend their marketing and press campaigns for music gossiping and talking about drama, instead of convincing people why to actually care about the body of work they are putting.
And it's true. Like there's, sometimes it is kind of, I wouldn't say difficult, but it's a mind shift on what you need to do. Because it's just all like as an artist, you're sitting up there like he was saying right now, where it comes to with them talking about everything but the music. There's a balance as far as with that, and that's something that I'm learning as well. There's a balance of you showing yourself and who you actually are, the things that you're into, but also being like, hey, I got this album. So, hey, I got this album tape Chaos. Y'all should check it out, link in the description. But, there is a balance from it. It's not saying that artists, all you got to do is talk about your music 24/7. I think in this particular day and age, you are able to connect with audience a little bit more by just like being yourself, and I think that's where where streaming comes into play, different things like that, why that works, and weirdly enough, why more rappers aren't doing it. Hell, I'm not even doing it. There's still that friction of being like, you know, inviting that aspect in. As a musician, a lot of times you're reserved and you kind of put it all out there as far as the music, but there are a couple of artists that are able to, you know, balance it to where like you don't have to put everything online. Just the stuff that resonate. If you're an anime fan, doing stuff on that. If you're a gamer, doing stuff on that. If you're a car enthusiast, Currency does a great job of that. It's just like I know Currency is a dope rapper and he's always dropping projects, but I also know that he's super into cars and he drops car content. That is a perfect example of that balance.
Out. Tyler brought up all of these points to slam the modern music industry and the direction it has been heading in because, as it stands, the value of the album is spiraling down a rapid hole that it may never
That's
come
true.
back from. But this is not necessarily because people don't care about albums, because, as we have seen, especially in rap this year, when the right people drop, they do create massive moments that people
No,
can
they
actually pay
people still
attention
do
to and
like
have some sort
albums.
of
You just
discourse
gotta
about.
drop a
But
dope
generally
album.
speaking, so many of the rappers occupying the mainstream landscape right now have tired out listeners and made them untrusting of the musical products they are putting out. And as this criticism is coming from somebody like Tyler the Creator, whose last 3 albums have all been massive successes and arguably all classics in their own regard, as they have all solidified themselves as their own defining cultural moments.
I'm gonna leave the link for the full video as far as in the description so y'all could check it out. But the point on albums is right. You drop the right thing because I see it. I see it with certain artists when they drop an album, independent artists and different things like that. People will buy it. But a lot of these artists are not thinking about nothing other than, okay, let me go ahead and put songs together and then drop an album. There's no other thought behind it. There's no other concept. There's no other meaning behind it. And it's all like, yo, this is supposed to be an album. Not saying every album has to have some super deep story or skits or different things like that, but just making it to where it is an experience. You're sitting down, your fan, the audience is sitting down or working out or whatever it is that they're going to listen to that body of work. I was telling my homeboy about this because as far as on the marketing and getting fans and different things like that. It's the example of having the sample size versus the full meal. The album's the full meal, and if no one knows who you are and you're shoving a full meal out, it's just all like, I'm not gonna, invest in that. But having the sample, i.e., the song, the singles, and getting enough of those to where then you get people to, wanting to invest in your album. And when they do, what type of experience are you giving them? Are you giving them just songs all the way through and you're just all like, wow, I just heard the same song 13 times, or is it some type of certain vibe that you're going for? Is it like there's nothing wrong with keeping like having a vibe of the album. Like the vibe can be chill vibe. Everything's, chill, but there's a reason why, from the title, from the title of the album to the album cover to the insert to the track names to the track formation as far as in the order that it is. All of that goes into play, and a lot of these artists, I don't think they're going as deep as, okay, these tracks are hot, let's put them all together. So Tyler makes some good points, but honestly, this is a lot of stuff that we've already heard. Did it take Tyler the creator to say this though? I mean, for Tyler Kweli say this, we've heard artists continue to say this, even people who aren't artists but are commentators of the culture and different things like that. We've heard this from the Ice Spice, the Sexy Red, the Megan Thee Stallion, all these 21 Savage, Lil Baby, The Baby, all these different artists. But Tyler the Creator is a prime example himself of artistry still winning. Kendrick Lamar, prime example, artistry still winning. I haven't heard the full Eminem album, so I can't fully give my opinion on it. But Eminem usually when he drops, even if it's not all that relax, there's still more than just putting songs together, so there's artists that are still dropping albums that are worth listening to. A lot of people were saying Jid's albums was dope. I didn't hear that yet. JPEG Mafia recently dropped an album. It's the like pretty much honestly that's how I felt with a lot of Drake tracks, a lot of Drake albums recently. That seems like there's no like effort to do something other than here you go, so let me know what y'all think in the comments. Is Tyler the Creator right? Is it something that, just needs to be said more often? Do you think that, the media, is a part of this? Do you think it's the people in general just gravitating more towards the ratchet stuff? Let's open up the, conversation in the comments. But it's Mr. Composition, the MC that writes fiction, back at it with another reaction. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, notification bells on so you don't miss when I drop a new video on the road to 5K. Make sure to check out the description for this full video, my music, books, comics, and more. All right, y'all. Peace.